an hour ago. But the Bonnies look good tonight. They're 5-0 to start the season now. It was a fun game, but still, it was kind of a bad one because they should have beaten this Division II team by like 30 or more points, way more for sure. But it was still fun though. Been a fun season, but they'll be back on. They should be on national television like next week on Thanksgiving though. If you all know, but Duke obviously really good start, but then they're just playing some tough opponents. When you lose to Kentucky last week, which you figured that was going to happen. But I did not expect it personally. But all right, let's get on to the NFL this week. In the college football, let's recap last week's games. Starting with this past Friday, Washington UCLA game. I told you what was going to happen in that one. Should have called that one. When Washington was going to beat UCLA. At Field and Washington would. So now they got their 6th win. So they are bowl eligible now. So that's a good win for the Washington Huskies. They're 6-5 because they're not going to win their next game. They finish up the regular season. That's against Oregon. So that's a good win for them. Good for Oregon. Maybe Washington. Yeah, beating UCLA. So UCLA is now going to win their last 2 games to get bowl eligible. So they got their hands full. That was kind of the game UCLA had to have. But really more is the game Washington had to have, which they did. So they are 6-5. So they are bowl eligible. 6 wins is you need for any college team to get in Division I football to get bowl eligible. So that's a good one for them. Saturday, the Pitt-Clemson game. That came down to the wire. Clemson got lucky. Caleb Klubnik gets that 50-yard touchdown run to beat, Pitt. But Clemson lucked out in that one. Pitt almost pulled off the upset. They pulled off that upset at home. They almost did it. I just couldn't believe it. Texas beats Arkansas. It was 20-10. Not that entertaining, I'd say, in that one. But yeah, Texas really just locking in the SEC, like at least getting in the SEC championship game. They're pretty much putting their chances in jeopardy. Pretty much just locked in at this point. They pretty much got locked in, possibly. That's a good one for Texas, beating Arkansas on the road, too. Ohio State, meanwhile, got another win. Now they got to play against Indiana. That's a big test for them, but still a good win for the Buckeyes against Northwestern, in Wrigley Field. So that was a good win for them. They didn't look ahead, so they went there and took care of business on the road. And also got their chances of winning the Big 12 now. They can have a chance to go to the Big 12 championship game. So that's a huge win for Coach Prime and, Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is now the favorite to win the Heisman. So that's a good win for them. So Colorado's pretty much got their playoff chances pretty much in good position right now. But still, they got some games got to win. And Syracuse found a way to beat Cal on the road to West Coast. It was a tough West Coast trip, but hey, they got the win, got back on track after, falling to Boston College a week ago. So Syracuse is now 7-3 on the year now with 2 games left. They got both at home. So, they have a chance. They still got to play Miami in a few weeks. So they have a chance to play spoiler in that one. Penn State took care of business. Pretty much made it look easy on Purdue. I was not surprised on that score. It's Purdue. That's an easy win for any team that plays Purdue. It feels like. Notre Dame beats UVA. I figured that was going to happen. So another good win for Notre Dame. Really, secured, trying to keep themselves in the playoff picture in the college football playoff since it's a 12-team expansion. So they really got to keep winning out. It's a good one for Notre Dame. SMU found a way to beat BC in a close one. Boston College gave them fits, but SMU pulled away late, winning by 10 points. Boston College just gave them a run for their money, for sure. But Boston College really hung in there the whole time. But SMU was the better team. Figured out a way to eke one out. And got a big win up there. LSU, this was kind of a stunner one. I did not expect LSU to lose to Florida. Gators pull off an upset over the weekend. Yes, Florida was at home field advantage in that one, but still, I did not see that one coming. No one saw it coming, probably. That is a big win for the Gators now. Huge one. Oregon survives a scare from Wisconsin. They only won by 3 points. That was we almost had the number 1 team go down this weekend, which is crazy to think about it. We had that happen. And last but not least, Tennessee losing to Georgia. So Georgia really back in the playoff conversation with that win. They were last week. They were the first team out, like missing the playoffs. But now we can win the division on our bye week. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, so that was last week. Let's get into this week's college football picks. Starting with the Thursday night game tomorrow is an ACC matchup here between Georgia Tech and NC State. This is at home in Atlanta. NC State still 1 win away from going bowl eligible, but I like Georgia Tech on this one. I like the Yellow Jackets. They should win this one, and especially because senior night for them. It's senior night, so Georgia Tech's gonna win that one. I'm telling you that right now. I like the Yellow Jackets in that one. What else we got after that one? Got Friday night game on Fox is Purdue and Michigan State. This should be an easy one for Michigan State because Michigan State's got to win their last 2 games to get bowl eligible. But this is a win. This is easy for them. There's no doubt Michigan State's going to beat Purdue. I shouldn't say that, but still, I think they should. It's Purdue. 1-9 team. Michigan State's got to win the last 2, so I got Michigan State winning this one to give themselves a chance to be bowl eligible, possibly in the last week of the regular season. Now the big game of the week. Pretty much the game of the week in college football. Number 5, Indiana heads to Columbus to take on Ohio State. Number 2, Ohio State. This is a big noon Saturday on Fox. College Game Day will be there in the AM, like 3 hours before kickoff and all that. So this one, I mean, this is a huge one for the playoffs, pretty much for the college football playoffs. This is a huge game, resumes and all that. What do I like in this one? I mean, this one's a very tough one. Indiana is undefeated this year. They're 10-0. I mean, having a historic season, but they've had an easy schedule. But now this is their toughest test of the year. Indiana will be testing this one. It's Ohio State. Ohio State's really got to win this one. This is a more must-win for the Ohio State Buckeyes. But if Indiana loses by like a touchdown or like a field goal, like a one-score game, I think they'll still be in the playoffs. But if they get blown out, I'd say they were not in that level of the college football playoffs. Indiana, so. Most people pick Ohio State, but I'm going to go Indiana. I think they're going to keep their undefeated season. This is a special year. They barely beat Michigan, so I think Indiana is. I mean, it's been a long time since Indiana's beaten Ohio State, so I really feel an upset in this one. It's kind of an upset, but still, I like the Hoosiers this one over Ohio State. Give me the Hoosiers. This one's at noon on ESPN. This next one here, Wake Forest at number 8 Miami. Miami really got to win this one here. Pretty much put them in the mix, pretty much to lock in possibly one of the first or second place in the ACC. And win these next 2 as well too. But still, this is one. It's winnable. It's senior day for Cam Ward. Last home game, Miami by a lot. I got the Hurricanes this one. They should beat Wake Forest by a lot in that one. So I like them in that one. Let's move on to the 3:30 slate of games. Starting with on ABC is Texas and Kentucky. So this is Texas senior day game. They play Kentucky. So number 3 Texas should win easily. I mean, although Kentucky's in desperation trying to get to a bowl game, they gotta win their last 2 games well. So, but I like the Longhorns. It's senior day for Quinn Ewers. I think he should have a good game at home against Kentucky. So I got the Longhorns by a lot. Next is 3:30 game on CBS. This will be a CBS game of the week on CBS. It is number 4 Penn State at 6-4 Minnesota. So Minnesota 6-4 unranked, but already in the bowl game. They're already bowl eligible. But Penn State, meanwhile, has got to keep winning out just to at least lock in a playoff spot in the college football playoffs. He's got to keep winning out, and they should win this one. I got the Nittany Lions this one. I think they should win, but this could be a tricky one. Minnesota could be tough. They could give them fits this one, especially because it's on the road. Although Minnesota's known to pull the upset, maybe the one time these 2 met in Minnesota before, they were both undefeated, but Minnesota shockingly beat Penn State, which I did not see come. That was like 5 years ago. Now, 5 years later, these 2 meet again late in the season. Minnesota. So that's going to be interesting how that goes. But this is a huge one, 3:30 on ESPN. Huge one for the Big 12 right here. BYU, 9-1. Of course, BYU suffered their first defeat last week. So now we're down to 3 undefeated teams. Just Army, Oregon, and Indiana. So BYU now, they suffered a loss to Kansas over the weekend. They're 9-1. They're number 14th in the country, trying to really keep their playoff hopes alive. They take on number 21 Arizona State, which no one's off the top. I'm not even talking about this team, but they've been underlooked this year. They've been really overlooked, this Arizona State team. Really, they're just such a good, underrated team. And no one talks about as much, including me. And they're number 21 in the nation. They got a huge win they have a chance to pretty much, if they win this, whoever wins this one has a really good shot at making the Big 12 championship game. And this is at Arizona State, so I'm going with Arizona State in this one. I really like I like them in this one. The Sun Devils in this one. I like this one. I don't know why. I could have took BYU, but for some reason, I just feel like I'm like riding on the Arizona State bandwagon in this one. So I like them in this one. Next at 3:30, it is on Fox. It is Colorado and Kansas. This is a huge one for Colorado. Kansas still in desperate need of winning these next two games to get bowl eligible. They're on a winning streak right now. They've won back-to-back games. They beat Iowa State and then they upset BYU. Now they got to play Colorado. Coach Prime, number 16. Yeah, so this is a huge one for Colorado. They got to win this one. This will be played at Arrowhead Stadium. Let's put the Chiefs Stadium. So this is interesting because the Jayhawks are building a new stadium. So this is kind of cool having it there. Colorado is a slight favorite, but I'm going upset in this one. I think this one's an upset alert this week. I like Kansas Jayhawks and upset over the Colorado Buffaloes. So sorry, Coach Prime. I think you guys might be in trouble this weekend. I don't know why. This Kansas team is dangerous right now. So I really like this one. Next 4 o'clock on ESPN2 is an ACC matchup here. 7-3 Pitt against 6-4 Louisville. This is at Louisville. Pitt has started out 7-0. They lost their last 3, including a loss to SMU, UVA, and Clemson. Now they go on the road. Louisville, they're finished regular season on the road, so it's not gonna be easy for them. But I gotta go Cardinals in this one. Louisville looking to bounce back. I think they should win this one. They've had Pitt's number lately. Seriously, they've had Pitt's number lately. At least 2 playing Louisville, but last year Pitt upset them when Louisville was ranked. But here's another really big game in college football. This is a 7 o'clock game on NBC. Is number 19 Army, who is undefeated, one of the only 3 undefeated teams left in college football, taking on number 6 Notre Dame. A huge one for Army. Both these teams a huge one. This is a play at Yankee Stadium. This is a huge one for both these teams. Army, if they win this, they have a really good shot at representing the Group of 5, like being the highest ranked Group of 5 team in the college football playoffs, which could hurt Boise State's chances. Army really has got to win this one. Same as Notre Dame, but because Notre Dame's not in a conference championship game, so I think Notre Dame has to win this one too. But I don't know. For some reason, I'm gonna take Army this one. I don't know. Notre Dame, for some reason, is gonna lose this one. I don't know why I think that. For some reason, the Irish is gonna slip up in this one and ruin their playoff chances. That's gonna go up in smoke. So I like them in this one. 7:30. This is Saturday Night Football on ABC. SEC matchup here is number 7 Alabama at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's 5-5. Oklahoma just needs 1 win to get bowl eligible. Alabama pretty much back in the top 10 of the college football playoff rankings this week. And it's a tough road test playing in Norman. But I'm still gonna go with Alabama in this one. I like Alabama. I like the Tide roll in this one. They should roll it easily in this one. Oklahoma's having an up and down year. Bama by at least 2 touchdowns or more. And to wrap up this week's picks, Virginia Tech Hokies back in action after the bye week. They head to Duke at 8 o'clock, play the Duke Blue Devils. It's a primetime game, 8 o'clock on the ACC network. So this is a primetime one. Senior night at Durham, North Carolina. So the ACC Huddle crew will be at this one. But yeah, I'm going to go with Virginia Tech in this one. Virginia Tech needs 1 win to get bowl eligible. They're 1 win away. And they've had some good games. The last time these two met was in Durham a couple years ago, but Duke won that one. But it's an interesting matchup. Duke 7-3. They're underrated. I mean, they got a good quarterback in Malik Murphy. He's good. And they got a good quarterback matchup. Thing is, who's going to start for Virginia Tech? Because we've lately been seeing a lot of Colin Schlee. But of course, we saw Kyron Jones start in the Clemson game last time they played, but Colin Schlee came in late. But it's interesting what Virginia Tech is the quarterback position. Tootin, we know he's going to play for sure. But the thing is, what are they going to do at the quarterback for Virginia Tech right now? That's the biggest concern, but I still like the Hokies in this one. But that'll wrap this week's college football picks. Let's get into this week's MSP. Let's talk about the NFL. We had some really good games last week across the NFL in Week 11. The Eagles pretty much now in control of first place with that win over the Commanders last week on Thursday Night Football. That was a good one. I thought it'd be a lot closer, but I mean the Commanders were looking good for a while. Then all of a sudden, just Saquon Barkley just got going. Or Eagles defense forced some turnovers. Jaden Daniels was not ready for this matchup. Looked like he was not ready for the big stage in the NFL. So the experience pretty much came back to just to haunt the rookies. The rookie experience was not going to be there. I knew the NFL experience with the quarterback with Jalen Hurts was going to come back really pretty much with the advantage in this one. So, I mean, but at the same time, I thought Washington had a chance in this one. They've been playing some good football here, but still a good win for the Eagles. And the Packers blew my pick of the week. They won, but they didn't cover. Those sons of bitches. Those Packers suck. I'm sorry. They do. They really suck. They barely beat the Bears. They only won by 1 point. They set a blocked field goal. Same thing like the Chiefs did to beat the Broncos. But seriously, they got so damn lucky in this one. Seriously, the Packers are frauds. I'm sorry. The Packers are frauds now. Now I'm telling you, they barely beat the Bears. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you, I've been telling you all year that Jordan Love's been a turnover machine for these last few weeks. They are terrible. They might not make the playoffs even. I could be wrong, but seriously, they might have a chance to fuck up and miss the playoffs, which I would love to see as a Packers hater. I would love to see it happen. Seriously, they suck. Jordan Love is terrible. He's had more picks. And everyone talks shit about Josh Allen's a turnover machine. Hell no, it's Jordan Love and Patrick Mahomes. Those two quarterbacks. Actually, Jordan Love. I think he leads the league in interceptions this year. But seriously, they got so lucky. So lucky in this one against the Bears. I mean, they got to play a lot better than that. But, of course, the Saints, I mean, they've been looking good since they fired their coach. All of a sudden, their head coach got their back-to-back wins. Saints, look, because Valdes-Cantling's been just putting up good numbers for the Saints at the receiving position. So ever since the Bills get rid of him, he just all of a sudden turned into a better player for the Saints. He's really stepped up for the Saints offense all of a sudden. Derek Carr's new weapon. And the Browns dropped to 2-8. Browns might have a chance to be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Them or Jacksonville are bound for that pretty much at this point. The Rams look pretty good. They got back on track after not scoring a touchdown at all, after losing the Dolphins. They get back on track. They beat New England. That was a good win. I mean, the receivers look good. You know, they won by 6, but it was enough to cover because the spread was 4.5. But I told you this was going to happen. I told you the Steelers were going to beat the Ravens. Steelers still have Lamar's number. That is a big win for the Steelers. Meanwhile, the Ravens, that's a tough one for them. And then they dropped to second place, so Steelers are really in control of first place now with that win. I mean, the Steelers didn't even score a touchdown, but still won. The thing, like, I mean, their offense kind of mid, but once Russell Wilson once they really find their rhythm, they're gonna be a dangerous team for sure. So that's a good win for the Steelers. Thing is, it's the biggest reason their defense. Patrick Queen pretty much stuck it to his old team by forcing the fumble and recovering the fumble that he forced. It was crazy. He just stuck it to his old team. He had some really good plays. So that's a good win for the Steelers. I think they're up there in the conversation with the Bills, those two being the best in the AFC. I still think the Chiefs are up there too, but right now it's Bills or the Steelers are the two best teams in the AFC right now. Dolphins covered the spread. They dominated. They beat the Raiders by 15 points, but Brock Bowers looked pretty good at times. He had a pretty good game despite losing the Dolphins. I mean, Raiders got a good tight end in it for a while, but it sucks he's on the Raiders. But hey, they got a future Hall of Famer possibly. There's some people think, but still, he's a rookie. But still, he's definitely a really good pick for the Raiders in the draft for sure. This past April. Lions, another 50 burger. They dropped on a terrible AFC South team. This time they put 52 on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The worst defeat in Jaguars history, they're saying. So Doug Peterson, definitely in the hot seat. We don't know yet if he's going to be fired yet. They're still uncertain about his future. What's going to happen next for the Jaguars. And the Vikings look good. Sam Darnold didn't throw a turnover. He threw like over 200 yards passing. A good win for them. They won by 10 over the Titans like they should, on the road. That's a good win for the Vikings. I told you this was gonna happen. Anthony Richardson now played for Aaron Rodgers. Jets are now 3-0 in the year. I told you that was gonna happen. I had a feeling the Colts would win that one. I'm telling you, I mean, Rodgers is washed up. I mean, the Jets playoff droughts can continue this year. They're done. They are completely done. You lose the Colts. His Jets team's awful. I just knew they weren't covering and they weren't gonna win at all even. And Seattle found a way to win. Geno Smith, that game-winning touchdown run to beat the 49ers. How about that? 49ers have been up and down. They're not playing their standards right now. They are not playing up to their standards right now. They got to play better this week because they got to go to Lambeau and play the Packers. This one, no one saw coming. Even though the Broncos are a good team, but they blew out the Falcons. Don't get me wrong. I thought, it's a bad loss, most fans would think, but this is a good Broncos team. And that's a bad loss to the Falcons because, you should have played a lot competitive. That's a tough one. You get just absolutely spanked. Kirk Cousins probably had the worst game of his 10 years as a Falcons quarterback. He's the worst game. But let me go on about this one. To all the Kansas City crybabies and the Swifties, Fuck all you. I told you the Bills were going to win. You know Instagram Rick was going to give you shit about this one when the Bills beat the Chiefs. Josh Allen proved he is an MVP quarterback this past weekend. He proved it. I mean, he really proved it. He's got some weapons around him, too. And Amari Cooper had a good game. So did Khalil Shakir. He had some big catches. James Cook looked good. The defense forced 2 picks off Mahomes. And Josh Allen with that run to pretty much put the game, that touchdown run. Probably one of the best plays of the NFL season. Wow. The refs couldn't help you. Taylor Swift couldn't help you. This Bills team is legit. I'm telling you. My Buffalo Bills, that was their best win of the season by far. This was better than beating on the Seahawks. This was better than beating the Jaguars and some of the other games. But seriously, this is their best win all year. The Chiefs' undefeated streak is no more. There are no undefeated teams left in the NFL this year. And Bills are the first team in like 2 years to put up over 28 points against the Chiefs. That's the last time Chiefs. It's been over 2 years since the last time the Chiefs gave up over 28 points. And it's been the first time the Chiefs lost the game since Christmas. That ended too. Like a lot of things ended for the Chiefs. So yeah, really good win for the Bills. Happy for them. Happy for my Bills to get back and get a huge win. Now going into the bye week now. Get some players healthy now. I mean, we did this without Kincaid and Keon Coleman. They can talk about if it's we had made a bad decision by passing Xavier Worthy. We did not. You know, Worthy's a good player, but still, we knew we can do well without Xavier Worthy. Seriously, it's like media can talk all they want about us. We're a damn good team this season. But I had to get that out of the way. The Chargers almost choked. They found a way to go a late touchdown late in the game, but still, they blew a 27-6 lead. It was tied at 27, but J.K. Dobbins with a go-ahead touchdown with 18 seconds left pretty much put this, really just win the game for the Chargers. Tough one for the Bengals. They came all the way back and just, McPherson misses 2 field goals. That's a tough one. Bengals pretty much playoffs really went up in smoke this past weekend. Had opportunity after opportunity to pretty much win. Pull off the comeback win. So Chargers kind of got lucky. They almost blew another lead. It was like deja vu from that Jaguars-Chargers playoff game a couple seasons ago. And this one, I was not surprised. Texans made it look easy on the Cowboys. Cowboys are just a train wreck right now, folks. Dallas is done, I'd say that. They've been done for a while, but they're definitely out of it now. But all right. Let's get into the Week 12 picks, shall we? Let's start with tomorrow's Thursday night game on Amazon Prime. It is the AFC North Showdown. It is the 8-2 Pittsburgh Steelers, first place in the division against, it's a mismatch, a 2-8 Cleveland Browns, who are last in the division. Spread's 3.5 favored by the Steelers. This is in Cleveland, but I got to go Pittsburgh in this one. They'll cover. That's enough for them to cover for sure. The Browns are just awful. They're just a dumpster fire. I mean, they're rebuilding. Of course, with the Watson going down. Of course, Winston just having a rough time. I feel it for Nick Chubb. He's a good player. I feel it for Myles Garrett. I feel like some of these star players they got. Good thing the Bills got Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper left at the right time. His Browns team got way worse once he left. So I like the Pittsburgh Steelers by at least cover for sure. But I could be wrong. But division games are always tough. But still, I like them. And the Browns are not that good. They're not last year's team. Let's move on to Sunday's games. 1 o'clock here is the Detroit Lions at the Indianapolis Colts. The Lions are favored by 7.5 on the road. Lions should cover it. They always dominate these AFC South teams. I really think so. Lions should win this one by easy. But still, you never know. The Colts are a weird team. They could surprise you still. But I still like Detroit in this one. Next, this is on CBS. So 1 o'clock game is the Kansas City Chiefs at the Carolina Panthers. Chiefs are favored by 10.5. But for some reason, I'm taking the Carolina Panthers. I think the Chiefs won't cover. Chiefs will win, but they won't cover. But possibly, I mean, seriously, this will be a lot closer than the experts think, I think, in this one. For some reason. I don't know why. I know I'm saying it. I mean, it sounds crazy for me picking the Panthers, but I just have a weird feeling about this one. Chiefs they could bounce back. They could be angry, but at the same time, they could start losing games in their own. I mean, they lost their first one. Now they could start maybe losing back-to-back. Maybe they'll barely beat the Panthers, something like that. They've been lucky a lot lately, so the Magic pretty much their luck ran out last week in Buffalo. She figured. But I'm taking the Panthers. I don't know why. I'm taking the points. I really think it's going to be a lot closer than the 10 than the spread is. So next, this NFC North Showdown is the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. The Vikings are favored by 3.5, but I'm taking the Bears. I really think so. They look pretty good last week. I think they can build off this loss to the Packers and beat the Minnesota Vikings this weekend. I don't know why. I really think they're going to win. I mean, they were so close. I feel like for those Bears fans, you know. And Caleb Williams is playing the best. It's probably the best game he played all year last week. By the way, I think the Bears are still on the Vikings this weekend. That's why I'm thinking this one. Next here is an NFC East matchup. It's a mismatch. 3-7 Dallas Cowboys against the 7-4 Washington Commanders. Commanders are favored by 10.5 at home, so Commanders should cover this one for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, it's Cooper Rush. You know, he used to be so good at winning games for the Cowboys in the past, but not anymore. This Cowboys team is just they're just a mess right now with a lot of things going on. Like Jerry Jones just like keeps just being naive and all that stuff. And Cowboys are done. I feel bad for CeeDee Lamb. I feel for Dak Prescott. He signed that big contract. They all signed, Micah Parsons. Some of these star players they got. But I don't really feel bad. I feel for the players, but I don't feel for the organization. The Dallas Cowboys, they're just America's team. My ass this year. It's really anyone else that in the playoff picture is America's team, especially the Buffalo Bills, or even like any other team. It's the America's team for sure. Not Dallas. They're terrible. Next, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New York Giants. It's at the Meadowlands, MetLife Stadium. Giants made a QB change this week. They benched Daniel Jones. They'll start Tommy DeVito. Bucks are favored by 5.5. I'll take the Buccaneers this one. But yeah, so the Giants, after the bye, they made a QB change. They decided to bench Jones this week. DeVito, he's back, baby. Tommy DeVito is back. But I'm going to take the Buccaneers still. But hey, it's good to have Tommy DeVito back. I told you, like, they should have benched him. They should have benched Daniel Jones a lot sooner. I really think that's I think they should have at least started Tommy DeVito a while ago, when they at least had a chance to still make the playoffs, like early in the year. Yeah, it's the Giants. Same old Giants. They're up there bound for the number one pick. They're tanking. Next, the New England Patriots at the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins, the spread 6.5. The Dolphins should cover. They'll always win by a touchdown or more. It's the Patriots. That's another easy one for Miami. The Rams was kind of a tough one, but still, they had an easy one with the Raiders. Now they got an easy one with the Patriots. They should win this one very easy. Next, the Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans. They're at the 1 o'clock slate. Picks here. Texans are favored by 8.5. I mean, you saw what they did Monday night against the Cowboys, and they're playing the Tennessee Titans, so they should win by. They'll cover the 8.5 point spread. They'll win this one easily. It's Tennessee. Here's a good one here. Denver Broncos at the Las Vegas Raiders. It's an early 4 o'clock window here, 4:05. Who I like in this game? I'm gonna take the Broncos. They're favored by 5.5 on the road. I like the Broncos. They made it. They played their best football last week, and they're keeping it going. I think they could possibly. They could pretty much have a chance at getting the 7th seed this season. They might make the playoffs this year. This looks like a playoff Broncos team, like I've been saying. I should have picked them last week, but I picked them this week because they really beat a good Falcons team by a lot. They made a statement last week. Here's a good one, and a huge one for the NFC West. The surprisingly first place NFC West leading Arizona Cardinals, who are 6-4, take on the 5-5 Seahawks, who can't play a huge one for the 49ers. Cardinals come out the bye. I mean, they're 6-4. This is in Seattle. This is a pick 'em. It's 0.5 the spread is, so I gotta go with the Seahawks in this one. This is a tough one. I mean, I want to pick the Cardinals. I mean, they've been playing good, but just Seattle, they're still in the mix. In the division, so I gotta go with Seattle in this one. But here's America's Game of the Week at 4:25 on Fox. It is the San Francisco 49ers at the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. So I'm gonna have to go with the 49ers. They're playing they're gonna be playing some they're in desperation mode this weekend, I think. And the Packers look fraudulent. So the 49ers are gonna own the Green Bay Packers like they usually do. McCaffrey's gonna have 100 yards rushing, at least a touchdown, maybe 2 touchdowns. McCaffrey goes off on the Packers this weekend. I think so. Brock Purdy may have some good plays, but I really think you're gonna see a lot of Crash McCaffrey. You're gonna see some 49ers defense forcing some turnovers on that turnover machine quarterback Jordan Love. He's gonna get picked off multiple times. Give me the Niners in this one. Here's Sunday Night Football here this week. It'll be back in LA again, SoFi Stadium. This time the Rams are hosting it as they take on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are favored by 2.5. I'm taking the Eagles, and this is my pick of the week, folks. The Philadelphia Eagles. I've been talking bad mouthing them lately because I've been fraudulent, but they proved they're still a good team after beating Washington in a huge game last week of the division. I think they'll cover. They'll at least win by a field goal. It's gonna be a good game sneaky good game because the Rams are playing well. I mean, they're getting their guys healthy as well too. So, but I like the Eagles one at least by a field goal. That's be a good one. Here's the other game that's gonna be on SoFi Stadium: Monday Night Football, the Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, who head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, taking out his brother Jim Harbaugh, who's first year head coach for this LA Chargers. So this is the third time these brothers go head to head coaching matchup here. Ravens are favored by 2.5. They came off a tough loss in Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, the Chargers got a big win over the Bengals last week. But I'm taking the Chargers. You know I should pick Baltimore because they came off a tough loss to the Steelers, but this Chargers team's pretty good this year. They've been playing good. They got a good running game in J.K. Downs. They got some underrated receivers in like McConkey. Who else? They got some good players. They got some for sure. They got some weapons for sure. And Justin Herbert, they're an underrated team. This Chargers team is. They're known to choke a lot of games, but still, they're an underrated team. This Charger team is good, for sure. Well, thank you all for joining here on this Wednesday night here. We'll see you all next week, the Thanksgiving Eve edition of Instigator Mick, because it'll be the next one will be the day before Thanksgiving. So, hey, have a good weekend. Enjoy your football weekend, and I'll see you all next week.